Hello.
Hi.
How's everybody doing?
Fine, thanks. And yourself?
All good, thank you. So you're all slowly joining in. Hello, hello. There we go. Well, welcome everybody. Glad to see you all here. And at month end, hopefully there's not too much near life stress happening. Figures are looking really good right now, in fact. So that's been a good thing. And there's a lot of people that have been qualifying this month, in our team at least, and that's really, really good. So there's going to be some good checks coming out of there. I think there's been a couple of personal best months as well, by the looks of things, if what I'm seeing is correct. So tonight, I'm trusting that everybody, and in fact, I think everybody that is on here was at the virtual kickoff on Saturday afternoon. Am I correct?
Okay. Yes.
And if you weren't at the virtual kickoff, have you watched any of the replays of the virtual kickoff? Okay. All right. So tonight is really going to be not technical as such, but more a little bit of feedback that I'd like to get from all of you. We had a guest speaker on Saturday afternoon, Temba. I've gone blank on his surname at the moment, but sorry, Vusi Tembakazi, he's a businessman. And from what I can tell, a very successful businessman as well as being a public speaker and motivational speaker. Hello, Dominique. What was your impression of him? Hello. What was your impression of Vusi? And he compared normal business with our business as well. And what is your take? What is your opinion on what his comparisons were? Do you think what he was saying was valid? This is going to be open house, so please anybody chirp in as you go along. Anybody starting? Yeah, you guys are all muted, so I can't really hear you.
Okay, I'll start.
Yeah, go.
Yeah, well, I thought there were some very positive points. We as leaders have to take the lead, and we have to do it correctly. We can't blame others. It's us. The business is on our shoulders, so we've got to take the lead, and we've got to lead by example.
Very much so. And that's the thing. You can be a leader or you can be a follower. And in this business, we're trying to be leaders, which means we need to lead by example. And by leading by example, our team will follow on. Anybody else? Debbie, you were going to say?
Yeah, just that, with the way things are at the moment, we all have to change. We might not like it, but we have to change. We've got to change with the system. Just going back to that leaders and followers, none of us were actually born leaders or born followers. I know that there's a saying, oh, he's a born leader, but when we come into the world, we don't have this tag on our toes saying leader, loser, winner, follower.
Exactly.
So, yeah, with this new way of doing things, everybody has got a chance to change. And it's just your attitude towards it, really. Are you bucking against the system, or are you changing the system? Or, so there's a whole lot of things that opens up after that talk.
Yeah. Are you reinventing the wheel?
Yeah.
You
have to.
You can streamline the wheel a little bit, but you don't have to reinvent it from the beginning. I was interested in a tweet that I saw just now. I've been following the DSA, of which we are a member. And apparently the DSA will be part of a virtual panel discussion on economic recovery hosted by the ANC Treasurer General tomorrow. Oh, that was today, in fact, from 2 until 4. So our business structure is starting to feature in the bigger world. We have a big job ahead of us because there are a lot of people that are battling right now, business-wise. Even though things are opened up a little bit more from last night, I don't know how many of the small businesses are actually going to survive. And every little business that closes down, every big business that closes down or has to reduce its scale, equate that to a lot of people suddenly out of a job and out on the street. Now, what business do you know of that doesn't require a lot of capital, doesn't require major qualifications or any qualifications, and anybody who can talk, in fact, there's probably quite a few people who can't talk who can do the business as well. We are in the right
It
place.
doesn't matter what.
Doesn't matter age, as long as you are 18, or legally you've got to be 18, but you can be in partnership with somebody until you are 18. We don't worry about age. We don't worry about background. We don't worry about political affiliation or religion or whether you've got 2 legs or only 1 leg or in a wheelchair or blind, because I've seen blind people doing this business as well. We're not worried about that. And we don't, we all know that Neolife is the best products on the planet, my opinion. And we are biased, obviously, but we have a business structure at the end of the day. And it's our responsibility to share that business structure with others. Daily, you meet people who are either out of a job, frustrated with their jobs, because I'm seeing a lot of people who have had reductions in salary and they've lost bonuses, and quite a few of them are not getting the increases that they used to. And I haven't really noticed the cost of living coming down recently. Maybe I missed something, but don't really think so. So even those with jobs, maybe in a profession, are needing an extra income. What business do you know of that can be run part-time, where you can get a second income? And we're not talking just pocket money. If you push it, you can make a significant extra income. I'm under correction, but Adelina Machado, who, as we know, has recently gone president's team, I think she was working part-time up until about October, November last year. And the last I heard, she was earning 10 times her salary, part-time. If you know Adelina, I think she's fairly busy. So how did she manage to do it? We used the business structure. And Vusi was talking about exactly the same thing. He's got multiple businesses. He doesn't have just one source of income. He's got multiple sources of income. And I think that is, gone are the days where you joined a company and your goal was to spend your entire career with that company to get a good pension and a gold watch when you retired after 30 years of dedicating your life to that company. How many people on this call have got experience of that? Where you dedicated your life to a company and you got a gold watch and a pension at the end of it. A pension that you can continue your lifestyle. Exactly. So where's our market? Who are the people that we're looking for? And how are we going to attract them to this business? Any ideas?
Good question, Sean, because I noticed that this month has been a very, very good month. And we've had some very good people who've reached their targets. I can see that Sean has gone over the moon this month. Well done, Sean. Yeah, there was a lot of things happening, and Barry did very, very well, and Jenny Holiday, Linda Foster, she was qualified in the first 10 days of the month. And January is a difficult month. So it was really, really great. But now, how are we going to grow from this platform that we've done in January? And I really think that the only way we can grow is by recruiting. We need to sponsor. Otherwise, this time next year, we might have another good year, another good January. But if we haven't sponsored, it's going to be pretty much the same as this year. So, yeah, we need to put our heads around it and come up with ways and reasons of how we're going to be sponsoring this year. And I don't mean just sponsoring like some other teams do, where they just get bodies and they just pile them in. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying getting maybe one relationship at a time and building them up and building them up. And I'd like to know ideas on that.
Because I think we need to get people's mindsets, and I'm talking general public, away from the fact that network marketing, that's just a scam. We need to start educating them that this is a legitimate business. And I think part of that way is to actually, again, we are leaders. So we need to teach by example. And if we are not growing and expanding, how can we get other people to do the same thing? And I'm talking to myself over here because I can feel my roots going moldy over here because I'm not moving the way I'd like to. So we need to educate people on the fact that direct marketing, and even you can stay away from the marketing part, but network marketing, multi-level marketing, whatever you'd like to call it, is a legitimate, viable business. That is not a scam, that is not a get-rich-quick scheme, that is not all those stupid preconceived ideas that a lot of people have. And if we are not up full potential, how can we get other people on board? And also, even with technology, with this particular platform over here on Zoom or Meet or whatever we're going to be using, how do we attract people to that? I love seeing the numbers over here because I remember our first few calls that we did, we would have 6 or 7 people on here, sometimes less. And right now we are at 14. And some of our presentations have gone up to over 20. How do we keep this going and getting more people involved? We're going to have to use technology. That's, for me, that is not even a question, because the days of having meetings they're over. I don't think we're going to get back. Yes, we will still have meetings, but not on the same scale that we had in the past. Life is changing. And yeah, apart from the fact that there's now curfews, okay, that curfew has been lifted slightly, but it's not safe to meet at night. It's not safe meeting in groups. In fact, we're not allowed to meet in groups. So how do we utilize technology and attract people to this, that they want to see what's happening, that they actually want to join in. We've joined in, but maybe I should ask the question, why have you all come together tonight? Why have we all logged in and signed in tonight? Despite, I know technology is very fickle and it can cause us grief and we want to pull our hair out. My hair's getting a bit thinner because of that. But are we utilizing social media to the extent that we should be? Because
Me personally, I don't think we are, but I mean, part of the reason why you come here is because of the people that are there and the fact that you can learn something new, or that you can get other information. But certainly it is really for the people that are part of the group.
So what are we going to do to attract more people? How are we going to build more relationships to get more people to join us? Because we can get, I think it's about 100 or 120 people on this. That's 10 times the number that we currently have. Can we make that a goal for later on this year?
Good idea.
Yeah. Okay.
And
Make it a challenge.
yes. Can we maybe start to should I put some of these recordings up on social media? Do you think that would help? Do you think that would bring more people in? How are we going to do this? Are we going to start doing like, if anybody listens to Ray Higdon, who's a network marketer and he's got a podcast and a lot of online training. A lot of these guys that I'm seeing overseas, and remember that Charlie got his structure from going overseas and learning from those guys there. He spent a year studying how network marketing works. And that was back in the dark ages, pre-technology. And even Charlie has come on board with technology. I don't think he will admit it openly, but he's doing broadcasts. He's doing videos, which if you'd have told him 18 months ago he would be doing, he probably would have laughed at you and said, told you where to go. We all have to change. And I'm guilty party number one. I love these gatherings. I love these meetings because I learn as much as anybody else does. But are we putting that learning into action? I know I'm not.
Well, I certainly am not.
So,
I think,
yeah.
Yeah,
we
that's
actually need,
Go, Barry.
I think we actually need to also use it as a practice platform. We all see the same faces every week, every second day. And there's certain people do all the talking. I'm not picking on you. I actually enjoy listening to the people that do talk. But I do believe that an element of practice from others has got to come into the play as well. Because if you want to do social networking, and I listen to Liz's son Gareth, who's quite a fundi on network because he works with Unilever, and the way they do things and how they do it and how he prepares it and all that, we've got a lot to learn. We've got a lot to learn because network marketing is powerful. There's no two ways about it. And if we want to enter social with each other, uplines talk to downline talk to uplines, yeah, that's great. That's all part and parcel of it. But we've got to get our ducks in a row. We've got to say, right, we've got a 622 plan we can put on here. That's fine. For us, it's okay. But we've got to spice it up in such a way that a new person sitting on here, a new potential distributor, gets the gift of the gab quickly without having to go through 20 screenshots of it. You know what I'm trying to say? I think we need to polish our marbles when it comes to producing anything.
And I think you will find that most of the big companies technically are doing network marketing themselves, because how do you attract clients? You network with others. How do you grow your business? You network with others. So we've got to teach people that our system is not any different to the way most companies do. A lot of these guys are coming on board. Yeah, if you buy, there's one I saw earlier today, if you buy 4 loaves of bread, we'll give you a 5th loaf free. Now, you're going to go and tell somebody who you know is maybe hungry, go and buy those 4 loaves of bread and we'll share the 5th loaf. That's network marketing. And most of the big corporations, you know, the salesmen gather with each other. And how can I support you? BNI is a classic one. BNI is a network marketing system. Because what are you doing? You're interacting with others to advertise your business, to showcase your business, and hopefully get some customers. That's exactly what we're doing. We've got 3 different product ranges that we use. 4, basically. Different product ranges that we use. What are we doing to encourage people to purchase those products? And in fact, not even just purchase, but just use for themselves. Because that, at the end of the day, we're not selling. We're trying to get people to buy from themselves, not from us, not from anybody else, from themselves via the DSC.
We've
Can I
also
just
got,
Go, Debbie.
carry on? Now, I was just carrying on with what Barry was saying. I've also been thinking about that, Barry, very much so. Mainly on our Friday morning meetings that we used to have, Barry and Ansi, you will know, each person had a chance of taking the meeting and growing in that sphere. Now, I see I see what Barry's saying as well. What I was thinking, maybe on a Friday morning, well, I know that Sean won't be available and Mandy won't be available, and I don't know anyone else who won't be available, but maybe we can just try it out on a Friday morning, where just to start with, every person that comes on Friday morning, and if we don't cover everybody, we'll follow it through on another Friday morning, that you've got 5 minutes, that's all. How would you bumped into somebody in the supermarket or on the street or on social media or whatever, how would you approach them with our system? Now, I don't know what you're thinking about, but that's just a start. Then maybe we could also have 5 minutes of somebody. How would you get someone interested in the product? You've never seen them before, or now it's an open thing, even on your media, on your social media. How would you go about, because nobody wants to listen to an hour presentation. They want a quick, sharp, something what Barry was saying, something that's got clout. Just, hey, I must listen to this. And if we do it on a Friday, and eventually we start to get people, we can say, right, if they're interested in the product, come on a Sunday night. If they're interested in the business, come on a Tuesday. So that it's a sort of a build up. I don't know what you think of those thoughts.
Sounds good.
no, I think it's a good idea, Debbie.
And
I
it's
know Barry never used to talk. He when he came to meetings, he even said himself, I can't do a presentation. Now he does a wonderful presentation. So there was a lot of growth on our Friday morning training. The same as when we were all together on a Monday evening training. There was a lot of growth. And Sean, when we used to come up to Mpangeni, I mean, that was an amazing growth. You wouldn't even say hello to me, you were so flipping shy.
exactly.
So yes, it's got to start somewhere. So maybe on the social media, we can start somewhere. Like Mandy is always here on the meeting, but she never says anything because we are all talking, but we all know how to talk. So It'll give someone like Mandy, Samantha as well. I see she was on the meeting.
Mhm.
Give her time to talk. I follow Samantha on Facebook, and I know Mandy, and I don't know Samantha that well, but I'm sure they've got loads to share with us.
Can I say something?
Go.
Yes.
I've been listening to a podcast by Fraser Brooks, and he's American and he's very loud. You have to turn your volume down a bit, but he has some very good points about network marketing. He does network marketing, and he's currently living in Dubai. Well, when the podcasts were happening, he was in Dubai. And yeah, if you're looking for something on YouTube or podcast to listen to, then yeah, try him. He's very much of a live wire. He has lots of people coming in and chatting on them. And he also said that to use social media and to use TikTok. He said to do like skits or whatever on TikTok to get people interested in you, and then link it to Instagram. And that's how you would build a funnel to get contacts for you to be able to grow your business. And it was all about growing your business. He says it's fine to go to meetings and partake in the meetings, and it's just the same people every week kind of thing. But he says you're not growing there. And if you're trying to get somebody into your business and you've been in the business for 10 years, but you haven't grown at all, what makes you think that person wants to join you? Because you're not showing any growth. So
Exactly.
the longer you've been in the business, you've got to have done something to make somebody want to join you. And he says you can't go around being quiet and not full of life. You need to be full of life, and so that you draw people towards yourself.
And that's yeah, it's very much so a holistic thing. I often have people commenting that, wow, you look very fit. And I say, well, yeah, I've tried to say as active as possible, and I've got some really good products, and just leave it at that. And people know me by now. Most of the staff at the hospitals will know, oh, yeah, you use those products. And I said, yes, you guys need some as well. And sometimes it's a bit of a slow process, but you've got to have that action. And listen to some of Laverne Smith's talks. She did a brilliant one with Louis at, I think it was the last Bloom that we were all together at. Might have been the one before that. And I look at her and even Alta, where I was shy. I think she was 10 times worse. And Debbie, as you were saying, if you had have told me when you guys signed me up that one day you will be standing in front of a group of people talking and doing a presentation, I would have put my pen down and said, okay, forget it. No, it's over. It's not going to happen from here. Because that was me. Still is me to a certain extent. But to get confident with something, to get comfortable with something, you've got to keep doing it. Think back to the day you got your driver's license. That steering wheel must have crimped a little bit because you were holding it so tightly. And think now how you drive. It's exactly the same thing. You become confident. And that is what I've learned through this whole thing, where I've had to learn to see what I look like. I don't like being in photos. I'm not very photogenic, but I've had to learn how to do all of this. And it's not, the rocket scientists have done all the hard work for us. It's actually very simple. If you can send a WhatsApp message and maybe do a WhatsApp call, you can do a presentation. It's that simple.
I just can say something. I agree what you are saying, but also I want to say, Debbie and Barry, I understand where you come from those Friday mornings, and all the meetings are different. I think what happened here is ourselves to blame. because in the beginning of lockdown, we put all the pressure on Sean and Jenny Potter. I think we were all, now that's why, personally, they are better than us. But why? Because they were put under, yeah, you are, because you were put under pressure. I mean, on any of these meetings, we can speak and ask, we all get the opportunity. But I think 9 out of 10 times it's, are we mentally prepared for this? That's all I just wanted to say.
Can I say
Ex-
something?
Yes, go.
From now onwards, on a Sunday evening, I will be giving somebody the host position, and every one of you will have a turn as a host position. I am learning from somewhere else that somebody has to host the session. It's nice being a host, you don't do the work. Somebody else does the work. But you've got to organize it. You've got to organize the
I just
speakers.
wanted
You've got to
to say
organize
that.
the team. And you've got to be there.
That is basically what happened on a Friday, exactly the same.
You should be doing.
Yeah.
And the initial thought about it, the initial thought is scary.
Yeah.
I know
Because
when I
you
get,
ask people, they say they will do it, and then they don't pitch up.
yeah, when I get
Or
a
the
phone
last
call from
minute
Mark,
they say they won't.
Mark phones me.
Yeah.
And I just start laughing because I know what he's wanting. He phoned me the other day and he said, you will be a host for one of the either Wednesday or Friday at the personal growth team. I like listening to everybody, but I've actually now got to read the chapter and summarize it and make sure that I'm ready for questions.
It's a big
Oh my
difference.
golly. So I'm on tomorrow morning. So watch out on Friday.
You can do it!
Barry,
Barry
you
wanted
wanted
to
to
say
say?
something.
Do it.
No,
Barry?
we've had a year basically where we've lost our personal expertise. I personally have. Before, when we used to sit down on those Friday meetings and people spoke or they drew on the board, whatever was the plan or whatever we were doing, each one of us had a percentage of self-confidence to do that type of thing. Today, and I'll be quite honest with you, today, I really got to sit and think about it. I've lost a lot of my self-confidence in terms of talking about a product or talking about this or talking about that or showing a person that. Why? Because, all right, the lockdown has a lot to play about it. But we also, because we've lost that flair or that touch to be able to talk to people, if you want to put it down to that.
Yeah.
And I think 2021, as far as I'm concerned, I've got big plans and I'll share it with my upline as soon as I put it together. And I know where I want to be in 12 months' time. But the way I feel inside here at the moment, I've got a big question. The mind wants, I know what I want to do, but the practice side of it is the question.
So let's build the
No, you
practice.
You did it before, you can do it again. And
Yeah.
only the only thing
Absolutely.
I'm facing a screen, that's all.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's actually quite a challenge that I'm putting out there. And maybe the other challenge is that now that maybe on a Monday evening, because Near Life aren't doing a meeting anymore with us on a Monday evening, maybe what we can do is on a Monday, someone will be the host and they will introduce someone to do the plan and they'll introduce someone to do a product. And that's might be another way of growing someone. So like, for instance, if Barry's going to do it this Monday, he's going to be the host as though he is showing a new person the plan. So we want to see Barry opening up, doing the plan and closing, and maybe asking someone to share a product. It's the same thing as we used to do on a Thursday evening at our open plan. Exactly the same, only it'll be on media. And we'll practice on this media.
Perfect.
So in other words, then Barry, you the MC, which is the host now
Yeah. Yeah,
on a
I see.
Monday.
Okay, right.
Yeah.
We are basically out of time. So thank you, everybody. We've got lots of
Everyone, thank you very much.
we've got lots to
Okay,
learn.
so then Friday will be the normal book story from Jenny Potter. Okay.
Yeah.
Is that how we're going to do it? And then Monday,
Friday is the book from, and actually it's
Yes.
for John and I to do Friday mornings.
Yeah.
And Jenny can make us hosts. That's fine. We did that the other day when our internet
okay.
was stable. But as leaders, when the internet is not stable, the leader must take over immediately. There mustn't be an ums and an ahs and an oopsie and a what's. It must pretend that that is what is normal. All right. Fantastic, guys. Good meeting tonight. Well done, Sean.